Honestly, the shortcut to all your questions
Yes,
in
what-
terms of how, any how question
me.
when it comes to
Tell me
spirituality
the shortcut.
is the extremely intense desire for truth, freedom, liberation, purity, however you want to call realization. All problems, all obstacles arise when the desire is not extreme enough. When the desire
Not extreme enough.
not intense enough, yes.
We need desire.
If we don't have desire for freedom, for liberation, for truth, then all obstacles appear. When you have intense desire, all obstacles disappear and the way shows itself.
That's different than the Buddhist state that says, you know, desires are...
This is the only desire that will guarantee to take you out of all lesser desires, so to speak. A very simple example of this is that, let's say that, you know, you're afraid to ask directions, and so, you know, you have to go, you have to get somewhere, you have to get to a museum, but you're so afraid that you don't want to ask someone for directions. As simple as that. People have that level of anxiety. So that's because the desire to get to the museum isn't big enough. That's the only reason the obstacle arises. Because if you have your own child in the car and he needs to go to a hospital ASAP or he dies, you don't even think about your fears. You'll ask for directions to the hospital because your desire to get to the hospital is big enough. All obstacles disappear. There is no question of how. You just know, you just do it. The same applies with integrating these levels of our consciousness, becoming ready and fit for contact, self-realization, enlightenment, awakening, ascension. Any of these how questions are really coming from a state of being filled with excuses because we don't really want what we say we want.
So if we're asking how, it's just
we
like...
don't want it.
I get that, thank you.
Sometimes, like lately I've been saying to my audience, sometimes you guys literally are abusing me here. You're using me because you know the work, you know the teachings, you don't really want to get there.
Giving you, you're an excuse for not.
So I need to answer these questions. I need to answer you consistently how, because really you don't want it. If you wanted it, if you got it, if you wanted it, you wouldn't be asking these questions. Like, because you would be doing it, you'd be becoming it. It's innate knowledge, it's intuitively innate to all of us. The path always reveals itself if the desire is extremely present. But we want so many different things laterally that vertical ascension line remains largely unavailable to most people.
That's great, because I totally agree. If I'm asking, oh, tell me how, then it's...
And the Buddha had an extreme desire for liberation. That's how he got to the realization that, you know, life is suffering and that there is a way out and that desires will cause more suffering.